Hi, I'm Yawa. Did you know that in China there are two New Years? One is the Gregorian New Year, January the 1st, celebrated with the rest of the world. The other is the Chinese Lunar New Year, also called the Spring Festival nowadays. It's the first day of the first lunar month. Who selected this date? How long has it been passed down? Let's find it out. A very, very long time ago. But how long ago? Probably around the time when the agriculture first became the main way of life. People noticed that for crops, from sowing to harvest, it followed a time circle. People give this time circle a name, Nian, meaning year. At that time, people believed heaven, earth, and ancestral spirits influenced the harvest. An abundant harvest is their blessing, while a poor harvest is their punishment. So at the end or the beginning of a year, people held grand sacrificial ceremonies, offering food to heaven, earth, and their ancestors to show their thanks and pray for good harvest. This practice was called ritual sacrifice. And right then, the meaning of a new year was born. During the early dynasties, the beginning of a year varied. Xia took the first month of the lunar calendar as the beginning. Shang shifted it to the 12th month. Zhou adopted the 11th month, and Qin appointed the 10th month. It was in 104 BC when Emperor Wu of the Han Dynasty, who promulgated a landmark calendar called Taichu calendar, officially established the first day of the first lunar month as the New Year Day. The exact date we still follow today. Back then, the day was called Zhengyuedan, literally meaning the first morning of the new year. On that day, the Han Imperial Court held grand celebrations. Yet to the common people, they celebrated a festival called La Ri. It's about 10 days before Zhengyuedan for honoring ancestors. What's more, the day after La Ri was called La Ming Ri, for bidding welfare to the old and welcome the new. Later, influenced by the imperial court, people gradually combined the traditions of La Ri and La Ming Ri with that of Zhengyuedan, bringing a grander nationwide celebrations of the new year. By the Sui and Tang dynasties, the name Zhengyuedan was replaced with the name Yuanri, and Yuanri was officially declared as a government holiday by Emperor Xuanzong of Tang. Throughout the history, people celebrated the new year in grand ways, and its name changed over time. Zhengyuedan, Yuanri, Yuandan, and so on. Then in 1911, great changes had taken place in our country. In order to align with the international practice, the nationalist government adopted the Gregorian calendar and implemented it nationwide. However, the traditional lunar calendar had been deeply rooted in Chinese society, and it's impossible to replace it. As a result, the government compromised. Thus, from then on, China has two calendar systems. One is the Gregorian calendar, used for public administration, law enforcement, and international affairs. The other is the traditional Chinese calendar, lunar calendar, used to guide farming, traditional practices, and social customs. That's why we have two dates for every day today. Take today as an example. It's April the 18th, and its lunar date is March the 2nd. Interestingly, when we celebrate our birthdays, we're often asked which date. That means the solar calendar date or the lunar calendar date. Back to the history, in January 1914, the government officially gave the traditional name Yuandan to the Gregorian New Year, January the 1st. Meanwhile, the traditional Yuandan was renamed the Spring Festival. That's how the name Spring Festival was born. Then in 1949, the new Chinese government continued to use Spring Festival as a name for the first New Year Day. Thus, this name has remained ever since. Abroad, the Spring Festival is known as Chinese New Year or the Chinese Lunar New Year. As for how people celebrate it, and put the link to my previous video in the comments. If you are interested, feel free to watch it. Thank you. See you.